caught up in the rain. Hi. Tonight's topic on Wives Wednesday, we're going to actually talk about after praying. That is very prevalent in our lives as wives, to make sure that we are praying, because we want to make sure we're bringing the covering to our house. But a lot of times when you go to church, the only thing that you can get from somebody is just pray. Pray. Prayer changes things. But there are some other implemental steps that we must take as wives also. It is very important that we do. So before I jump in the message, I want everybody to understand who I am and what Wives Wednesday is really about. I'm Courtney, the master relationship mechanic of the Relationship Service Station. And the Relationship Service Station is here to work on all components of our relationship. And Wives Wednesday is really near and dear to my heart, because what it does is for us as women who are wives, and I know I have some wonderful men who actually participate and follow and listen in, and I am just honored that you all do, because what that allows us to do is look in the mirror and become our best selves. And that is absolutely what the goal is at all times, for us to be our best selves. So tonight is always working on us. I'm never going to talk about what the other person should be doing. It's always about what we should be doing, because we should be the change that we want to see become in our relationship. We can never force anybody else to change. It's enough effort for us to change on our own. So, as I said, tonight's message is about after the praying. Ladies, gentlemen that are on the line, one thing I always want you to know, I am encouraging you to pray. I have a little prayer closet, and I believe in prayer. I wake up in the morning prayer. I'm not saying ever stop praying. Prayer should be continuously, as the word says, fervently, all the time, every day you should be praying. But there is a point where we should be changing our posture and our position of prayer. And as the song that Donnie McClurkin sings, after I've prayed and I've cried, what he says is I stand. So that means you get up. You get up out of a kneeling position. You get up out of a position of being low, and you raise yourselves up. And that's what we have to do, ladies, in our relationships, to make our relationships better. Even if it's with ourselves, we can't have a pity party all day long. We got to get up. So you can have a period that you can cry and pray, and then the rest of the day you pray as you move. But the point is, you have to stand up and you have to get motion about your life. And there are three things that I want to make sure that we cover tonight. Hello, Miss Quality Media. Thank you for joining us. I want to make sure we cover three things while we're talking about after the prayer. There are three things that you need to make sure you do. And the first thing is study. Study what is going on in your relationship. That means you need to learn how to be more observant. Hey, Miss Laurie. You have to learn how to be more observant in our relationships. And that's where we take a stand. A lot of times we don't study our relationships and see what's going on. That makes a difference. We jump and we make assumptions and we do things out of order as women, because we assume things. So first of all, study your relationship and understand the cycles and the season that go on in your relationship before you overreact or do things. That is the first step. So study your relationship. Study your man, study your children, study your mother, whatever the habits, whoever it is you have a relationship, study. Study is number one. Second point, after you study, write a plan. What I call it in the business that I do, I call it making a relationship map. That is how you make a plan. Create a plan. You determine where you are, where you want to go in your relationship, and you set some predefined boundaries and some places that you aren't going to go in your relationship. And we call those creating a relationship map at the Relationship Service Station. So that's creating a plan in your relationship. So after you pray and you continue to pray out of that posture position, you get up and you stand, because you can't stay in the pity party. You study. Realize what is going on in the relationships, because there are different seasons, different phases of a relationship that you need to make sure that you're keeping up. And then after you study, you write a plan to get you from one destination to the other. And that is how we grow in life. Everything requires a plan. If you're going through life and you're not creating a plan, that means you're going in circles. You have no direction. Every part of your life, and now it includes your relationships, you need to have a very distinct plan. So we study, we plan, and then thirdly, we participate. That means we begin to execute and be a part of that plan. That is very crucial. A lot of times we do a lot of journaling, we do a lot of writing, we do a lot of planning, and I am guilty because I have sticky sheets of paper all over the place, and sometimes I love planning, have wonderful ideas, but then it's getting all those sticky sheets of paper together to make one cohesive map. And then after you make that one cohesive map, is to stick with it, participate, be a part of it, and follow the directions that you put on the map. That's creating that maintenance plan of how am I going to make sure I get from point A to point B, and everything that goes along in this plan. So that is what you are supposed to be doing in order to make sure that you are accomplishing having your best relationship. So women, this is our best relationship with ourselves, because if we want to make sure, you say I'm freezing up. I think my Wi-Fi is doing pretty good. Well, I'll go back, and hopefully it shows better in the recording than freezing up. So I'll go back for do a little rewind to make sure everybody got all 3 steps before I jump into what we need to make sure. Basically, after you pray, your first thing is study. That means study the seasons, study your relationship, study the people. Even sometimes you have to study your own habits to see what makes you tick, because you want to not continually create the same habits. Because if you're continually going through the same cycles in your relationship, you need to see what is the common denominator. Secondly, you need to write a plan. Because studying for a test is great, but a plan on how to pass the test is what is more crucial. So that's in your relationships. You have to create that plan to get from point A to point B. So study, create a plan, and of course, third and finally is be a part of that plan to execute it and move from one step to the next step. Though that is important. Study, plan, and participate. Study, plan, and participate. When you get all 3 of those down packed, that means you have got observe the seasons that your relationship are in. That means you've created a relationship map. Then you have created a actual maintenance plan for your relationship. And when you do all of those components, it makes you have a wonderful relationship. And if it's not freezing up now, this is, I think, where it began to freeze up. This is for yourself. You should have a plan on how to improve yourself that has relationships with yourself. So it's whether you're writing a plan to get education, whether you're writing a plan to start a business, whether you're starting a plan, just however you're going to develop yourself better. Write a plan. Study yourself so you don't do the same things and keep failing the same tests. Then you should do those same things in every relationship in your life. Because I know everybody on here is not married. So it's not just crucial to the relationship of your marriages. But as a couple, you should sit down and write these plans together. Because you cannot tell somebody else where they're going. This is something that me and my husband do every year. We actually draw a relationship map of where we are now, and we actually take a couples assessment to determine where we are. And when we take that couples assessment, we find out our areas of strength. We find out the areas that we need to grow in, and that helps us tell us where the direction we need to be going. Then we set predefined boundaries to make sure that we do not actually decrease in the areas that we're already strong in. So that makes us have a stronger relationship. So I encourage you all to get a relationship assessment. I encourage you all to learn how to develop a marriage map. And I definitely encourage you to write the maintenance plan that goes with that map. Otherwise, all of these things is just a writing exercise if you don't do the maintenance plan and actually begin to participate and implement. So that's after the prayer. And ladies and the gentlemen who actually have blessed me on Wives Wednesday, I want to make sure that you understand it's all the way through the entire process. And remember, I am here at the Relationship Service Station. If you need help actually studying, getting your assessment, drawing your maintenance map, drawing your marriage map, your relationship map, or developing your maintenance plan for your any relationship or your marriage, you can reach us at the Relationship Service Station. That's www.relationshipservicestation.com. Or you can email me at masterrelationshipmechanic@gmail.com. And this is for the evening of our Wives Wednesday. I appreciate you all being here. And this recording will be available for the next 24 hours here on Periscope. And for those who have joined me via recording on YouTube, Google, I'm glad that you're here, and that recording will be uploaded and put on our YouTube channel if you want to repeat and you don't make it after the 24 hours. I thank you for joining me here on Wives Wednesday at the Relationship Service Station. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. Good night, YouTube. I will see you all on the next Wives Wednesday.